Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I construct a closure unit on my sewing machine. It's pretty detailed and up close and personal, so I hope you like it. If you do, comment, subscribe, like, and enjoy. Okay, so here I am just prepping my sewing machine. I always like to make sure that before I start any project that my thread is good. See all this mess that's going on, all that. So I like to just do a dry test run, making sure my machine doesn't need any fixing before I get started on my wig. The hair I'll be using to make this wig today comes from a vendor that I'm testing out for my business. I believe I was sent over 216 inches and a 5x5 closure. So let's get into these bundles. Since I have quite a few bundles, I believe I had 3 at this time, I like to go ahead and double just one bundle and use that first. Look how pretty this is turning out. So I feel like if you have the open toe pressure foots, it does make it a lot easier to see what you're doing if you want to get into doubling, tripling, quadrupling your wefts. If you buy a sewing machine for the very first time, it doesn't come with an open toe. So if you have like Joann's or Amazon, if you go ahead of time and purchase those, it will just save you a lot of time. So real quick, I wanted to show you guys the cap I used to construct this wig, and it was a ventilated cap. I resized it to fit my head, and to do that I use a method called whip stitching instead of using normal thread. I chose this method because I love how flat it gets the cap, any cap that you choose to do this on, and it doesn't make it so bulky from normal thread. I didn't want to talk a lot on this video, but one thing I wanted to point out is notice how flat the tracks are. Anytime you're using a sewing machine, you want to make sure your tracks are as flat and neat as possible, going based off your grid lines. When I start my track on the cap, I like to start and place the track at the very edge of the cap, but I don't start sewing at the edge because it can be a little difficult. So I'll start a little bit before the edge, and then I'll just backstitch to the edge and then continue sewing forward. So as you can see, I made it to the second bundle. I can go ahead and let you know now that I did have to take this down and just single track it once I got towards the top. That is because I simply just ran out of hair, and that is okay. Sometimes you have to improvise, and maybe you want your back to be more fuller than your top, and you really don't want your top to be overly bulky, because one, that's why you have a closure in the first place. Yeah, I did end up taking it down once I got towards the top and just single tracking the top. So last thing I wanted to point out is on a ventilated cap you have the straps that are covered by the plastic. So what you see me doing, or have been seeing me doing, is once I get to the strap, every single strap, I do back stitch and forward stitch a few times. The reason why is because the majority of it is plastic, so it's not gripping onto anything. So you just want to make sure your wig is, as your tracks on your cap are as secured as possible, just in the middle, so there's no thread that would come loose. Me again. So you remember when I said that I had to take down the double tracked at some point at the top? Here we are at the top. Let me also tell you what I did since we're here. So I just, by the grace of goodness within me, was thinking, oh, let me just single stitch this and see how that goes. Yeah, let's not do that. And here we are now. So I didn't want to make this video too super long for it being my first YouTube video. Yay, I hope I did great. But I did off camera sew down the closure, and I also used the whip stitch method to do this. I love how flat it really gets it, and also without the black thread. It's just a personal preference. Another thing I didn't show was me finishing up the wig, but I did include some photos of how it turned out. So if you like this video, again, comment, subscribe, and definitely tell me what type of videos you would like to see in the future.